A day after making his return for the first time since September '99, Undertaker made his first TV appearance back on May 22 with the show already in the overrun in the middle of a heated Rock vs. Faction brawl peaking at record levels with over 10.5 million viewers, with Taker opening Raw the following week in his first promo since returning, kicking off the show with a 5.4 rating to set up a Taker vs. Rock angle in the main event, peaking with a 7.7. Big Show worked the first 3 weeks of May 2000 before being written off TV with an injury angle in a feud with Shane McMahon, having his last Raw appearance on May 15 in a segment of him chasing Shane to the ring along with a handicap match against Test and Albert, gaining over 1.3 million viewers to a 6.7 rating, with show's biggest number coming with him working the second hour on the record Raw on May 1, teaming with Rikishi in a tag titles match against Edge and Christian, doing a 7.9. Test and Albert got a more high-profile focus during the month, with them being partnered in segments and matches with the top heels in the McMahon's faction, teaming with Briscoe on May 8 in a handicap tables match against the Dudleys, doing a 5.9 rating, while the following week being brought in by Shane to take on Big Show in a segment jumping over 1 million viewers to a 6.7, with them working against the Hardys on May 22 and 29, drawing between 6.5 to 7 ratings. Eddie opened the month being involved in a massive quarter, doing a 7.8 rating for a match against Essa Rios due to being placed in Raw's huge second hour on May 1, teaming with Chyna against two Radicals members on May 15, doing a 6.5 rating, followed by him back in the 7 rating range for a European title match against D'Lo Brown, picking up over 900,000 viewers to a 7 rating on May 22. Ending the month in another European title match against Kurt Angle, jumping over 500,000 viewers to a 6 rating. The Hardys faced Saturn and Malenko during Raw's second hour on May 8 in a match, picking up over 500,000 viewers to a 6.7 rating, following it up in the final 2 weeks of the month in 2 tag matches against Test and Albert, combined bumping Raw over 1.6 million viewers to draw 6.5 and 7 rating. Chris Jericho was placed in perhaps the biggest drawing test of his career to date on May 8, with him positioned as the top babyface in a show-long angle on a rare night with Rock off the show, coming with massive pressure to follow up last week's all-time record rating, with Jericho working 3 matches throughout the 2 hours, first setting it up in a confrontation with the McMahons, jumping big to the highest quarter of the night 6.8 rating, but with numbers showing mixed results for the rest of the night, as Jericho's matches with Angle and Show in the next 30 minutes both saw an over 1.2 million viewers drop, doing 5.8 quarters, before ending the night on a more positive note with his main event against Benoit rebounding 400,000 viewers to peak at a 6.9. With Jericho's other 2 notable matches coming at the start and end of the month, first with a 6.8 rating against X-Pac on May 1 picking up over 300,000 viewers, followed by a 6-man tag with the Hardys on May 29 doing a 6.5. Rikishi opened the month teaming with Big Show in a tag titles match against Edge and Christian, being able to maintain Raw at record levels with a 7.9 rating, working a match in an angle against Pat Patterson the following week, jumping over 500,000 viewers to a 6.7, with Rikishi vs Kurt Angle taking place on May 15th to set up a 6-man tag the following week, with Too Cool against Angle, Edge and Christian doing a 7 rating. Chris Benoit headlined Raw in back-to-back weeks between May 8 to 15, with both drawing the peak rating of the night, first with an IC title match against Jericho jumping over 400,000 viewers to a 6.9 rating, followed by the main event against Rock in his return after a week out, with the Benoit vs Rock submission match picking up over 1 million viewers to a 7 rating, with Benoit staying in the 7 rating range for the final 2 weeks of the month with a 7.2 rating against Val Venis, followed by him closing the month in an IC title match against Hardcore Holly jumping over 700,000 viewers to another 7 rating. Triple H challenged Rock for the WWF title rematch between them in a 60-minute Iron Man match in a segment jumping over 1.7 million viewers to a quarter-high 6.8 rating already 30 minutes into Raw on May 8, building up Rock's response the following week to officially set it up, closing out Raw's first hour on May 15 with a 6.5. With Triple H a day after winning back the title coming out to confront Rock in a show-closing segment, spiking huge with around 2 million viewers to a near-record 8.6 rating, before being involved in 3 segments on all the main time slots on May 29, cutting a promo against Taker, interfering in Shane's match against Rikishi at the top of the hour, and being part of the Lumberjack match in the Rock-Taker main event, all ranging from a 5.4 to 7.7 rating. The McMahon's follow-up promo a day after Backlash on May 1 saw the massive interest on the night, spiking already 15 minutes into Raw with the segment jumping over 1.6 million viewers to one of the highest opposed quarters in history with a 7.1 rating, building to the main event with Shane McMahon challenging Rock for the title in a cage match, jumping huge to end up the most watched match in wrestling cable television history and massive bragging rights for the McMahons, with Shane after the record number continuing as almost a full-time wrestler for the rest of the month, including a match against Rikishi on May 29 jumping over 700,000 viewers to a 6.5, with Shane also opening Raw's second hour on May 15 and 22nd first in a segment with Big Show bumping Raw over 1.3 million viewers to a 6.7 rating on the same night that Vince opened the show in a segment with the returning Shawn Michaels doing a 5.6. Followed by him cutting a promo on May 22 before being confronted by Rock in a quarter jumping to a 7.2, with him between the massive spikes for the promo segments and regular matches, ending the month with a huge viewership total of around 10 million viewers. closing out an all-time record month of business for the company, culminating in the payoff of Rock's year-long title chase last night at the Backlash pay-per-view, peaking on May 1, 2000 in a milestone broadcast for the WWF, with Rock arriving in Baltimore to open Raw's second hour at 10 p.m., gaining over half of the WCW audience, picking up Raw to a near-record 7.9 rating for his first-ever babyface promo as WWF champion, with Raw already at over 9.3 million viewers, setting up the main event of Rock vs. Shane in a cage 30 minutes later, bumping the show to a near-record 8.3 rating for the entrances and first few minutes of the match, the second highest quarter hour on unopposed night in Raw history, only behind the This Is Your Life segment on September 27, 1999, as the Rock vs. Shane title match crossed over into the overrun, gaining over 1.5 million viewers to a 9.1 rating and over 10.8 million viewers, the most watched match in Raw and cable TV history, closing out the record night with Raw drawing the biggest rating in Monday Night Wars history with a 7.4 overall, with Rock off television in the next week for the first time in years, with him set to make his movie debut, filming a cameo role in The Mummy, returning on May 15 first with a promo hyping the 60-minute Iron Man match in a segment jumping over 900,000 viewers to a first-hour high 6.5 rating, followed by the main event on the night with Rock vs. Benoit gaining over 1.2 million viewers to peak the night with a 7 rating in the overrun, setting up an all-time memorable show-long angle the day after the pay-per-view on May 22, with him taking out the entire McMahon-Helmsley faction throughout the night, building to the main event segment, as the final quarter, which started at a 7.1 rating, then jumped over 1.9 million viewers to a huge 8.6 rating, peaking with over 10.5 million viewers, which put the final segment and Raw overall at near-record levels, with the segment ending up the fourth most watched in Raw history, closing the month with him confronting the McMahons with the returning Undertaker to set up a promoted Rock vs. Taker lumberjack match, turning into a brawl that jumped another 1.2 million viewers to a peak 7.7 rating, as Rock closed out a record month for the industry, with him having the highest average rating ever recorded on primetime weekly wrestling television.